Hi my scholars, this is my school channel and my name is Abiola. For this video lesson, we'll be solving the JAMB CBT past question for the subject biology, the year 2021. Do not go anywhere, stay with us and we'll be right back. Welcome back to my school YouTube channel. Right there, we're going to solve questions 21 to 40. So join me as we start with question 21. The correct sequence for the perception of smell in mammals is what? Okay, at first we are talking about, chemical receptors, all right, in mammals, okay, under this context. For these chemical receptors to be able to detect smell, all right, so the smell, they are present in the form of chemicals that get dissolved in secretions, all right. In the case of the nose, now we're talking about secretions that you can refer to as a mucous film, okay. So once these chemicals dissolves, right, in this mucous film, then the sensory cells, which you can also refer to as the chemoreceptors. In the case of the nose, to be very particular, you can refer to it as the olfactory chemoreceptors or olfactory chemical receptors. So once the chemicals gets dissolved, the chemical for that particular smell, okay, this picks it up and it sends an impulse via the olfactory nerve. Okay, this is the root, then to the brain. So this is the correct sequence. So the correct option is option D. 22. Which combination of the above can cause rapid overcrowding in climax biotic communities and human settlements? All right, so the key word here should be rapid overcrowding. That is very fast overcrowding. So let's look at statement I. We have high birth rate and high immigration rate. High birth rate means reproduction is occurring, right, very fast. Okay, so then we have high immigration rate. That means there is inflow, right, of organisms, of humans in this case study, right? So humans keeps coming in because the environment or that particular habitat is deemed as comfortable, right, suitable for establishment there. So you can see, so once birth rate is increasing and people are still coming in, definitely you are going to notice overcrowding. So statement I is very valuable for this combo. So let's look at another aspect that we can attach, okay, to make this combo very good to work with. So let's look at statement 2, low birth rate and high immigration rate. So if you look at low birth rate, that is birth rate has declined, birth rate has really reduced. Okay, so if you take a case study of China at one time, they said just one child to one family, as at one time. So you can realize that as at then, the population will not grow rapidly, right? So this is going to cause a contrary effect to what we are looking for, which is rapid overcrowding. Then if you look at high immigration rate, high immigration rate should lead to overcrowding or the growth of the population. But right here we have two counter items, right? So low birth rates and high immigration rates will not work out in the same results. All right, so this combo should be left out or struck out. All right, so let's look at statement 3. We have low mortality rate and low immigration rate. So low mortality rate tells you that people are not dying, organisms are not dying like that. The lifespan, the average lifespan there is very good and healthy. So that tells you that people are living longer, birth rate is increasing, people are still coming in. Definitely you should notice overcrowding. Let's look at the other aspect of statement 3. There's low immigration rate. So people are not living that particular environment. So people that have been there, they are still there. New offsprings are being born as well. Then we have people still coming in and people are not dying. So definitely you should notice rapid overcrowding. So the combo that works very, very nicely should be statement I and high. So let's go with the option that carries this combo, and that is option B. So option B is very good to go. 23. The number of plant species obtained from a population study of a garden is as follows. All right, so we have the guinea grass, we have the apoma SPP, we have the cider SPP, and we have the imperator SPP. Okay, this is a kind of weed, right? This is grasses like your spear grass, your sword grass, There's your morning glory, apoma batata, we're talking about potato, then your guinea grass. Okay, so that's just for side information. So what is the percentage of occurrence of imperator SPP? All right, so the percentage will just be this over the total number of plant species that we gathered. All right, so let's do that. Let's move to our solution platform, the whiteboard, of course. So what is the number of imperator SPP that we have? That is 23, right, over the total population that we have there of the plant species. So we have 15 for guinea grass, right? We have 7 for Ipoma SPP, right? Then we have Cedar SP, that is, okay, for Ipoma that is 5, then for Cedar that is 7. All right, let me rewrite this, please. Then for the imperator, we have this, then times 100 over 1. So we have 23. Right, over 15 plus 5, that is 20. 20 plus 7, 27. 27 plus 23, that is 50. So 50 year 1, 50 year 2. 2 times 23, that is 46%. So we can see that imperator SPP actually makes up 46% of the plant species that we can obtain from this study. So let's go back to the screen to select 46%. So we have that with option C. So option C is good to go. 24. When a marine fish was taken from the ocean and put in a tank of fresh water, it died after a short period because, okay, we know that a marine fish lives in seawater, right? It's salty. So the marine fish, typically, we know that the internal environment of the marine fish is hypotonic to the environment where it lives, that is in the seawater, right? So for it to survive in the seawater, it has to drink plenty of water, because since its body is hypotonic to the solution, to the environment, right, the seawater environment, that means water has higher tendency of flowing out of the body, right, to the environment. So it has to drink plenty of water. So in drinking plenty of water, that means plenty of salt is coming in. So those excess salts, they are being excreted, right, via the gills and via urine, the gills and the kidney, so as urine. So this time around, the urine will be more concentrated with little volume or less volume of water, so that it can conserve water. So you can see in the marine environment, the marine fish is hypotonic to the solution, to the environment. So that means water tends to move out of the fish, right, to the salty environment. But right now you have taken this fish to an environment, okay, which is a freshwater environment. So that means that the fish internal environment is hypertonic, right, to the freshwater environment. So what will happen? Water will tend to move from the freshwater environment into the internal environment of the fish. And you can see what's happened. So the fish gets lots of intake of water, right? It's not adapted to that kind of lifestyle. And then on the day you realize that the fish gets swollen and it may burst, it dies, right, of excess water intake. So let's go through the options that fit this description. So we have option A. The tank was too small compared to the large ocean. This is not tangible to what we are looking at. Okay, B. The body cells of the fish swelled and burst as a result of the hypotonic freshwater. This is very accurate, hypotonic freshwater, hypertonic internal environment. So water will flow from the freshwater into the body of, water tends to flow into the body of the fish. So this is good. C, the body cells of the fish shrank as their sap was hypertonic to the freshwater. This is contrary to the principle of endosmosis and exosmosis, right? So if you are saying that the fish cells shrank because it is hypertonic to the freshwater, that is incorrect. Hypertonic solution means water is moving from where it is in excess, that is in the freshwater, right, to where it is less concentrated. So this is incorrect. So instead of the cell shrinking, it should actually become robust, right? You should swell. So this is incorrect. Then we have D. There was no food in the tank, so the fish starved. So this is well ruled out. So the correct option is option B, because the body cells of the fish swelled and burst as a result of the hypotonic fresh water. 25. If a DNA strand has a base sequence TCA, its complementary strand must be what? Okay, so we're talking about thymine, this is cytosine, this is adenine. Okay, so the complementary strand to thymine is adenine, right? To cytosine, that is guanine. Then to adenine, that is still thymine. So the complementary strand should be well fitted this way. This is A, this is G, and this is T. So the complementary strand is AGT. All right, so where do we have it? AGT. This is the correct sequence. So option D is the correct option. 26. The two key cations involved in the action potential of nervous transmissions are what? So basically when we talk about neurons or nerve cells, they are the basic structural units of the nervous system. Okay, so if you want to talk about the types or you want to classify neurons, right? Okay, especially in mammals, humans. Okay, we can talk about the motor neurons, we can talk about the sensory neurons and the relay neurons. So basically we know that these neurons or nerve cells, they are the transmitter of electrical impulses. Okay, so now let's talk about what we refer to as a resting neuron. A resting neuron is one that is not transmitting impulse at a particular time. So at the time it's not transmitting neurons, it is actually generating electricity, right? Actively doing that. So in the course of generating electricity, there are two cations that are involved. That is the sodium ion and the potassium ion. You know, the sodium ion is being sent out. It leaves the cell, okay, leaving behind chlorine ion or chloride ion. Then this comes inside. So the movement of this and this is what accounts for the generation of this electrical impulse, although we still know that this will still leak out and it accounts for this electrical potential that we notice. So if you come back to this question, the two key cations involved in the action potential of a nervous transmission, we are talking about sodium and potassium ions. So option C is the correct option. 27. The order of evolutionary advancement of the above vertebrates is what? Okay, so it should begin with Pisces, okay, from fishes to amphibians, from amphibians to reptiles, from reptiles to aves, those are birds, then from aves to mammals. Okay, so we have the tilapia zili here, so that is Pisces, right? So this is actually the red belly tilapia fish. So we have from Pisces to amphibians, you should take this as toad. Right, so Pisces, amphibians, then reptile, that is the next online. So that is agama, we're talking about agama lizard. Right, so I said Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, birds or aves, then we have mammals. So Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, this is mammal, rats. Right, ratus, so this is rat, so this is correct. Although we have an omission of the aves, the birds, but it doesn't matter. So this follows the right sequence. You can also confirm this when you study comparative anatomy. So the order of evolutionary advancement of the above vertebrates is actually starting with this IV, right? I. So option D is the right option. Do not forget that you can practice using our JAMB CBT tools. All you just need to do is to tap on the link in the description below. This is going to get you to the Myschool website. Okay, so right there you get to download the Myschool mobile app for your Android devices, or you can check out our Myschool software for your laptops, your computers, and the like. So join me as of question 28. Which of the following produces both hormones and enzymes? So that particular thing we are looking for, that is the pancreas. You know, the pancreas, it functions in the digestive aspect and also as an endocrine gland. So what are the enzymes secreted by the pancreas? That includes the amylopsin, the trypsin, and the lipase. Okay, then what are the hormones secreted by the pancreas? We're talking about the insulin and the glucagon. We can see that. All right, so let's come to the ileum. That is the last part of the small intestine, you know, starting from the duodenum, the jejunum, then the ileum. This also deals with the complete breakdown of, you know, in the digestive process and also absorption as well. Okay, so gallbladder deals with the storage of bile, okay, produced from the liver, then kidney, you know, urine excretion and the like. So the correct option is option B for the pancreas. Do not forget to continually motivate us by hitting on that like button. Also, don't forget the subscription button and always tap on bell notification for you to get alerts immediately we upload the next video content. 29. The correct sequence of the movement of urea during urine formation is what? Okay, it starts from here. Okay, so the glomerulus, you're talking about blood capillaries inside. Yeah, so right here you can refer to as this section, you can refer to it as ultrafiltration or glomerular filtration. Okay, just like the word filtration. All right, so in the filtration, what this implies is that small molecules like your water, your mineral salts, your sugar and the likes, okay, they can pass through. All right, but bigger ones like your plasma protein will not pass. So that is where filtration occurs. So once this filtrate, this glomerulus filtrate or glomerular filtrate, once it gets into this place, okay, this is the Bowman's capsule. So the filtrate comes here, right? So around this convoluted tubules and the Ehrlich's loop, this is where selective reabsorption occurs, just like the word reabsorption, selective. You are selecting the items you want to reabsorb. So important items like water, you know, like your amino acid, okay, they are also reabsorbed back into the system. All right, so the remaining one now will now come to this collecting tubule or the distal tubule. So right here you can refer to as this tubule and this combo, okay? You can refer to this as the proximal convoluted tubule and here as the distal, okay, tubule, right? So at this junction here, this is where large amounts of waste are deposited, like your creatinine, right? And other ions like hydrogen ion, potassium ions. All of these have to be given out when necessary, okay, to maintain the osmotic concentration of the blood. So right there, what you are seeing is filtration, ultrafiltration by the glomerulus. Then when you come here, you're talking about selective reabsorption. Then down here, you are talking about, you know, so you have the collecting tubule, okay? So the correct option here is option A, from glomerulus to this, and it ends here. So option A is the correct option. Question 30. The order of passage of food in the digestive system is what? Okay, so you know it's from the small intestine right to the large intestine, then out through the anus. Okay, so it starts with this, the ileum, based on the provision we have here, right? So the ileum, you know, that is the last section of the small intestine. Okay, here the process of digestion is completed. All right, so the cecum is the first part of the large intestine. So coming from the ileum, the next thing you should meet up with, okay, the link bridge between this and this. Okay, this is the first section of the large intestine, small intestine. So right here, the cecum takes in digested liquid from the ileum. Okay, so right here, then we now come to the colon. This is what should replace what we have here, the colon. All right, but all of this large intestine, okay? But the colon right here, you know, in the colon we have the undigested food. So right there in the colon, this undigested food, what we call reabsorption occurs. What is really reabsorbed? You know, we're talking about water from this undigested food. Sometimes to salt may be absorbed from this undigested food. So what you're going to have is a semi-solid, you know, a concentrated waste product. Okay, that is what you can refer to as your feces or your fecal matter, right? Your physics, just to put it that way. So right there, physics is formed because water is being absorbed from these undigested food particles. This is your colon basically. Then from your colon, you know, it is being passed out of the body through the rectum, right, the anus and what have you. So from the ileum to the cecum, from the cecum to the colon, from the colon to the rectum, from the rectum through the anus. So option A is the right option. 31. Okay, so from the information above, determine the percentage of water in the given soil sample. So this is very easy. All you just need to do, you have to get the mass of the fresh soil, which is this minus this. Okay, so that is 29 minus 10, that is 19. Okay, so that is the mass of the fresh soil. Then when you talk about, okay, how much water is lost, right, so you just do this minus this, that is 29 minus 18, that is 11. So the formula will just be this, 11 over 19, right, times 100%. So let's do that from the screen, from the board here rather. So that will be loss in water, right? That's actually 29 minus 18, isn't it? Then the mass of the fresh soil, that is 29 minus 10 times 100%. So I have 29 minus 18, then I have, that should be 11, yes, 29 minus 19, that is minus 10, rather, that is 19 times 100 for 1. So this should be 1,100 over 19. And this should give me, I think, somewhat around 57.89. That is roughly 60% if you look at it. So let's go back to the screen to confirm that. If we have this selection available. Okay, very well. You can notice that we now have 60% here. So option D is the right option. 32. Which of the above structures is correctly matched with the organism in which it is found? Okay, so stomata, we're talking about plants. Stomata lenticel. So Spirogyra, of course, you know, it's Spirogyra belongs to the we are talking about talophytes, right? Talophyta. Okay, so this is a simple multicellular organism, right? So, but stomata is not what it uses, okay, for gaseous exchange or expelling excess water from the cell. Okay, we have the alveoli. The alveoli is actually found in the lungs. Okay, that is where gaseous exchange takes place, right? So not in earthworms. Okay, so this is out of it. We have the Malpighian tubule that is found in insects. It serves an excretory function, not in mammals. Okay, then let's look at contractile vacuole in protozoa. You know, under the phylum of protists, we have the plant-like protist and we have the animal-like protist. So the animal-like protists I refer to as protozoa. Examples are your amoeba. So amoeba, paramecium, and the like. So amoeba, we know that it removes excess water from its cell using the contractile vacuole. So this is correctly matched. So that should be option C, IV. 33. The sequence of the one-way gaseous exchange mechanism in the fish is what? Okay, so water flows in through the mouth. When the mouth is open, the gill cover or the operculum is closed, right? So once it is closed, you know, water rushes in through the mouth. So the water then flows over the gills. So it is right here, that is where gaseous exchange occurs. You know, oxygen is absorbed from the water, okay, then CO2 and the ammonium is being exhaled, okay. So once that exchange has occurred, then the operculum opens up so that water can flow out through the operculum or the gill cover. So let's take it again. You know, water enters in through the mouth. As the mouth is open, the air is closed. Okay, water passes through. So for water to pass through the gills, the mouth will be closed, right, so that the water can flow through the gills and the exchange takes place, gaseous exchange takes place right here. So once the exchange has taken place, all right, so the mouth is still closed, the air opens up so that water can be pushed out, okay, through the gill cover or the operculum. So this is the right channel, the right sequence: mouth, gills, operculum. So option B is the correct option. 34. Which of the following is true in blood transfusion? Okay, so we have the blood groups. Okay, we have A, we have B, we have AB, then we have the O, right? So I did not talk about resource factor, but let's just stick with what we have here. So let's look at statement A. Let's see if it is true. A person of blood group AB can donate blood only to another person of blood group AB. This is very accurate, you know, when you understand the concept of the presence of antibodies and antigens. Okay, so this will tell you that this is very compatible. Statement B, person of blood groups A and B can donate or receive blood from each other. This is incorrect. Okay, they can't donate or receive from each other. Okay, because on A we have the anti-B or the anti-B antibodies. So on B we have the anti-A antibodies. So anything coming from here, you are going to have clumping. All right, so you have agglutination. So C, a person of blood group AB can receive blood only from persons of blood group A or B. This is a partially true statement. Okay, why is it partially true? AB has no antibody, so it can receive blood from any other blood group. Okay, so it's referred to as a universal recipient. Okay, or recipient. So, okay, so this is incorrect, or it's partly correct. So we want something that is true in all aspects, all edges, well smoothing. So we have statement D, a person of blood group O can donate only to a person of blood group O. This is incorrect. A person of blood group O can donate to every other blood group. So if your blood group is O, right, O plus, right, you can donate to O, you can donate to A, you can donate to B, you can donate to AB. All right, so this is universal donor, universal recipient. So the correct statement here about blood transfusion is found in statement A. So statement A is the correct one. 35. The plants that grow in deserts or very dry areas are referred to as what? Okay, so hydrophytes, aquatic environments like your water lily, okay, epiphytes, they grow, you can call them air plants, okay, they grow on other plants, other trees to be specific, for physical support. They are not parasitic in nature. You can talk about your orchids, your mosses, right? Okay. Then xerophytes, they live in this condition described. The example, your cactus, right? So mesophytes, you know, they are found in soils, right? They are found growing in soils with adequate water supply. Okay. Example, like your corn or maize. All right, so the correct option is option C for the xerophytes. Question 36. The most abundant group of organisms in the animal kingdom is, we're talking about insecta. They belong to the phylum of Arthropoda. Okay, so that is the largest phylum in the animal kingdom. So when you come to insecta, we're talking about insects. You know, the phylum Arthropoda has different classes. Okay, you talk about the crustacean, those are the crabs. All right, you talk about the insecta, the insect like your butterfly, your grasshopper, and the likes. You also talk about your myriapoda, those are your centipede, millipedes. Then also we have the arachnida, okay, those are your scorpions, your spiders. All right, so let's come back to the insecta. You know, it is accounted that about 70% of the known animal species, okay, they are actually insects. You know, these insects are very funny. You know, they are widespread and adapted to all kinds of environments, though majority of them, they're actually land-based. Okay, so, but they are well adapted to different kinds of environments. And as well, some of them are omnivores, like your cockroach, right? It feeds on other insects. It also feeds on clothing materials, papers, sweets, and the likes. Okay, so you can see that their adaptation is very, very strong, very, very nice. And as well, these are the only known invertebrate that can fly. So the correct option is option C for insecta. 37. The movement of parts of a plant in response to external stimulus of no particular direction is actually nastic movement. Okay, non-directional stimulus like light intensity, right? You can see that in morning glory flower. Touch, okay, or you talk about humidity or temperature. Okay, so that is a very good example of nastic movement. You know, that touch. I remember the mimosa plant then while we were younger. You know, we play with it, touches, and it's full stop. So, nastic movement is the correct definition to the concept explained here. When you talk about taxism, this is the kind of response you notice. It's a directional response when you see the entire organism. Okay, you see them in multi-organism. This particular concept, you know, the entire organism tend to move away or towards where the stimulus is coming from, a directional one. All right, so we have phototaxism, you know, chemotaxism, and the likes. Or you can refer to this as tactic movement. So when you talk about tropism, okay, this is where a part of a plant, right, okay, under the same concept, the part of a plant move or responds to a directional stimulus. All right, this is, you can see this concept with tendrils of plants, stimulus of touch. All right, so this is the whole organism, directional stimulus for plants, animals. Then for this is for plants, the part of the plant. Right, so the correct option is option D for nastic movement. Please be reminded that you can ask those questions right now. All you just need to do is to tap on the link in the description below. This is going to get you traveled to the Myschool website. Okay, so you can ask your questions right there, and our solution providers are willing to help you out. So join me as of question 38. The mutation theory of organic evolution was propounded. Okay, you can attribute this to option B, Hugo de Vries. All right, so if you come to Gregor Mendel, you know, the Mendelian law of segregation. So basically, the fundamental laws of inheritance. Okay, we give it to this man here. We have Jean Lamarck. Okay, so Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. You talk about theory of use and disuse. You know, acquired transmission of inherited traits. Okay. The transmission or in the inheritance of acquired traits. Okay, so And then we have Charles Darwin, theory of natural selection. All right, so use and disuse, natural selection. Then this is genetic mutation. We can attribute it to this man here. Then we have Gregor Mendel right here. We talk about the laws of inheritance. Remember the pea plant. Okay, so the correct option is option B. Going through our video lessons, you may have questions you'd like to ask, or you have contributions you'd like to make reviews. Please, we are so much interested. All you just need to do is to use the comment section below. Kindly indicate that question number and the explanations or reviews or questions you'd like to share. Question 39. If both parents are heterozygous for a trait, the probability that an offspring will be recessive for that trait is what? So look at the keywords here: heterozygous, recessive. Okay, heterozygous, we're talking about two different alleles, right, for a particular gene. All right, so then we talk about recessive. Recessive, it tells you that this particular kind of gene, it will not show up, all right, in an heterozygote formation for physical expression. It will be there, but it will not express itself, okay, in an heterozygote setting. So let's go to this board, right, to use the test cross to validate our answer. Okay, so we have, you can see this is heterozygote in nature. All right, so if you look at the crossing, we have, so you can see this is homozygous tall. All right, so this is homozygous tall. This is heterozygote tall. All right, with the recessive, you can see it. This is also heterozygote tall with the recessive. This is homozygous short. So if you want to look at the phenotypic ratio here, phenotypic, you're talking about physical appearance. All right, what we are going to see is that you are going to see 3 tall children, right? This, and this, because this will not express itself in the presence of this. All right, so that will be 3:1. Do we see that now? Okay, so but we are asked to get the probability of offspring that will be recessive for that trait. Recessive means it will be there, but it will not express itself. So such situation should include this. It's there, it is there, but it will not express itself. That is out of 4 children that we have here. 2 of them, right, are not expressing that or that trait for shortness. Right, so that is 2/4. You can say times 100% or something like that. So just say 2/4. 2 year 1, 2 year 2. Okay, so this is 50%, or you can say half. So that means half of the offspring produced. Okay, they are actually with the recessive traits. All right, recessive gene. So let's go back to the screen to select the correct option. So if both parents are heterozygous for a trait, the probability that an offspring will be recessive for that trait, okay, that is actually 1/2. 2 out of those 4 children, that is half of them. So option A is the right option. 40. Blood circulation in a mammal is said to be double because it passes through the heart twice, okay, before a circuit is complete. All right, no extra information explanation. So option A is the correct option. Okay, so if you want to talk about single circulation, you can see that setup, okay, when it comes to fishes. All right, so the correct option once again is option A. So we've come to the end of this video lesson, but there are definitely more interesting content to come. What you just need to do is to always hit that like button for us, and also click on the subscribe button, and always tap on bell notifications so you can get alerts immediately we upload the next video content just for you.